on the coffee house.
Welcome to Work Life at the Coffee House. How to improve our schools is one of the critical questions facing our nation. Most everyone agrees we need school reform that puts students first. And many add that for schools to get better, teachers and their unions have to be part of the solution. Recently, the president of the American Federation of Teachers laid out her union's position on critical questions of school reform. The AFT has also entered into new agreements with school systems such as New Haven, Detroit, and Philadelphia that some are touting as models of school reform. With me to discuss all this is Randi Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers. Welcome, Randi, to the Coffee House.
Great to be here.
Well, let's start with these new agreements in several cities. What are the key elements, in your view, of these new agreements?
Well, what you have is you have a new agreement in New Haven, Detroit, Philadelphia, St. Paul, Minnesota, and all of them try to accomplish the following. They try to say, let's turn around low-performing schools, focus like a laser on how to do it, management and labor together, creating both more flexibility and more voice for teachers. Second, in general, there's more voice for teachers because there's a notion finally understood in these cities that the critical ingredient is that connection between student and teacher. And if you don't actually create the voice that teachers are yearning for because they want to make a difference in the lives of kids, then you're not listening to what people are saying in the field, what people are saying in the trenches. And the third piece is, how do you improve the evaluation system? And all of these agreements have a piece on that. How do you improve the evaluation system so that we're actually really getting to great teaching and great teachers? And that includes, how do you help create a process for dismissal that is both accurate and fair? So focus on low-performing schools, turning them around. More voice for teachers, and a process by which to get to great teaching and great teachers, including a process for how to remove people, if necessary, fast and fairly.
Well, are these then models? Do you see these as models that could be extended to school systems across the country?
Look, I think these are great models, and they're not without controversy on all sides. And you know, look at Detroit. The Detroit teachers actually saved that school system. It's a tough contract, not just on the reform side. On the reform side, it's an interesting, innovative contract. But the teachers every month are actually foregoing some of their hard-earned wages to help save the city. So, you know, there's differences. Each of these agreements are tailored to the different situations, but the key is that teachers have to be part of the solution. What we've seen, frankly, in the last 8 years under the Bush administration is there was a focus on accountability. Some of it very important to shine the light on kids who had been left behind. But there was no focus on the program to help kids. And instead what happened was that schools and teachers were left with all of the responsibility. What we're saying is that we need to have both program, not just to create and help great teachers or teachers become great and inculcate great teaching, but also how do we have programs for kids who are truly disadvantaged? How do we make sure we level the playing field by co-locating services there? How do we make sure we have robust curriculum? How do we help kids who are falling behind, plus kids who are real strivers? All those programmatic pieces have to be in place, not simply an accountability system that's focused only on schools and teachers.